Unit 731 was a secret facility in northeastern China where the Japanese army conducted horrific biological and chemical warfare research on thousands of prisoners, mostly Chinese, Korean, and Soviet. Many of these prisoners were women who suffered unimaginable pain and cruelty at the hands of the Japanese doctors and scientists. Unit 731 had several facilities across China and Japan, but its headquarters was located in Pingfang near the city of Harbin. The complex consisted of more than 150 buildings covering an area of 6 square kilometers. It had its own airport, railway, power plant, and prison. The prison housed thousands of captives who were used as guinea pigs for the experiment. They were mostly Chinese, but also included Koreans, Mongolians, Russians, and other allied prisoners of war. They were referred to as marucha, meaning logs, because they were treated as disposable materials. Among the captives were hundreds of women who suffered unimaginable horrors at the hands of Unit 731. Some of them were kidnapped from nearby villages or cities, some were sold by human traffickers or collaborators, and some were lured by false promises of jobs or education. They came from different backgrounds and ages, ranging from teenagers to elderly women. Some of them were pregnant or had children with them. One of the most common experiments that women in Unit 731 underwent was vivisection. This means that they were cut open and operated on without anesthesia or sterilization while they were still alive and conscious. The Japanese doctors wanted to study the effects of various diseases and injuries on the human body, so they deliberately infected women with pathogens like anthrax, plague, syphilis, or cholera, and then dissected them to observe the changes in their organs and tissues. They also removed parts of their brains, lungs, hearts, livers, or kidneys, sometimes transplanting them to other subjects or animals. They also amputated their limbs or severed their nerves to study blood loss or nerve damage. Another horrific experiment was frostbite testing. The Japanese doctors were interested in finding out how to treat frostbite, a common problem for soldiers fighting in cold climates. They exposed women's arms or legs to extreme cold temperatures until they froze solid and formed a layer of ice over the skin. Then, they tried different methods of rewarming the frozen limbs, such as dousing them in hot water, holding them near a fire, or leaving them untreated overnight. Many women suffered from gangrene, infection, or permanent damage as a result of these experiments. The women in Unit 731 were also subjected to various forms of torture and abuse. They were raped repeatedly by Japanese soldiers and researchers, sometimes in front of their children or husbands. They were infected with various diseases such as syphilis, gonorrhea, typhoid, plague, anthrax, and cholera. They were injected with animal blood or pathogens. They were exposed to extreme temperatures, radiation, electric shocks, and poison gas. They were left completely alone and cut off from their friends, family, and the outside world. These women were kept isolated away from any human contact, with no one to talk to and no one to share their pain with. This isolation made them feel terribly lonely and hopeless. They were also stripped of everything: their clothes, their things, and even their name. They were treated like they weren't even people, just numbers. They were forced to do terrible things they never wanted to do. They were made to choose between cooperating and avoiding more pain, or resisting and facing even worse suffering. The experiments they had gone through were extremely painful. The mix of physical and psychological torture left deep scars in them. Even after they were set free, the pain didn't go away. They had nightmares, couldn't stop feeling anxious, and were often really sad. It's like they couldn't escape the horrors they had gone through even in their freedom. Many of these women ended up with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. They kept reliving the terrible things that happened to them. It was like a never-ending loop of pain in their minds. But back then, people really didn't understand these mental health problems, so many of them suffered in silence without getting the help they really needed. Despite all of this awful stuff, it's important to recognize how strong these women were. They somehow managed to hold on to who they were deep down inside, even when everything around them was breaking down. They supported each other and managed to keep some sense of their self-worth even in the darkest of times. Thank you all for watching this video, and don't forget to leave a comment down below and let us know what you thought about this topic. See you again next time, and bye for now.